In this video, we'll create a YouTube intro just like MKBHD. I love his channel and also love his YouTube intros. So we're going to recreate that. And of course, you can use these skills to create your own intro. If you want to learn to become a better editor, learn how to do sales and get potential clients, do join my masterclass. Link is in the description. And now let's jump into it. So looking at this intro, you first see these really cool 3D models or 3D shapes flying through the air. And there's also some noise pattern on it and some glow. Then the cube aligns to the center and will turn into this really cool grid, and that will turn into the MKBHD logo. And we're gonna do everything in After Effects. It will take some time, but especially for standard elements like a square or a triangle, it should be doable. And in my opinion, the best way to do this is go to Layer New Solid. I'm just gonna create a solid of 400 by 400 pixels. There we go. Then I go to the star tool because I'm gonna create a triangle. It should normally show a star like this, but if you now hold your mouse down and then press the up arrow on your keyboard, you can scroll through the shapes and then we can create this triangle. Now just hold shift, and as you can see, it's not perfectly on the mask, so go to selection. So go to your normal selection tool, double click the mask to align it with our solid. And I'm just gonna turn off this video and I'm gonna make it transparent so we can see what we're doing. And then I'm gonna double click it again and I'm gonna see if I can align it a bit better. There we go. And then what we're gonna do is go into the black solid and add a stroke to this. So go into your effects presets and add a stroke, then generate stroke and use this mask. Then change the paint style to on transparent. Then I'm gonna turn off my transparency and I'm gonna increase the brush stroke. And then we probably have to realign our mask a bit so it will fit in the shape. And this is important because we're gonna do a 3D style for this. There we go. Now I'm gonna make it 3D. Now I'm gonna move the anchor point by using the pen behind tool and then just moving this down. And when you hold command, it will snap, or you can just turn the snapping on in the top window and then it should automatically snap, as you can see. There we go. Then I'm gonna make it 3D. I'm gonna duplicate it by pressing Command D or Control D on Windows. Then I'm gonna change my camera view to the top camera, and then I'm gonna move this a bit to the back. Make sure that it's set to the normal selection tool. Move it a bit to the back, maybe something like this. Then rotate it, something like this. And then I'm just gonna move it by using the arrow tools and holding shift. Then I'll duplicate it, press R for rotation, and then you see the orientation. We'll set it to -302 and then we'll move it to the right. And let's see if we can align it a bit. As you can see, it's not perfect because there's a crossing in the top. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but this is a bit ugly. Let's see if we can adjust this a bit. Maybe set it to 60 degrees and the other one to 300. Let's see. So now it does align, that's perfect. Now we already made a sort of triangle. Now we want them to touch. I want them to touch in the middle. And the easiest way to do this is to just go into the rotation tool, making sure the x-axis is selected, and then we can just move it to the middle and we can eyeball this a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect because we can always adjust this later on. Maybe something like this. Then we'll go to the other one. We'll do the same, something like this. And then the same with the other one. There we go. And as you can see, it's not perfect, but it will be flying through the air. So we probably won't see it. We can just now go to Layer New and then Null Object. Make it 3D. Move that to the center and then link everything to it. So select all the layers and then parent them. And now if we go back to our active camera, we'll see this beautiful triangular shape. Go into the rotation of the null and then we can rotate it around. As you can see, we created our 3D layer. Now I do see some misalignment at the top. I'm not sure if we're gonna see that. If we do, we can always adjust this shape later on. Now for the cube, it's somewhat similar. We'll just create a new solid again and we can just use the same settings. So 400 by 400 pixels, okay? Except what's nice now is that we can just double click on the rectangle tool to create a shape. And then add again a stroke to this, increase the brush size and change it to on transparent. And I'm just going to turn off the triangle by selecting all the layers, turning them off. And then we have our top layer. And this is actually quite easy because a shape is always easier than a triangle. You can just make it 3D. We can just duplicate it and rotate it -19 on the x-axis. And then you can move it down. It should snap, as you can see. And for this, I like to be in a custom view because we can see like a side view. And then you can just move it however you want. And as you can see, if you just move it from the center, it will basically snap in place. We can just duplicate this, move it to the other side, also make it snap, duplicate the bottom one, also make it snap. And then we just have two sides, which we can do by duplicating the black solid again, rotating it. Now the y-axis to 90 degrees, and it should snap again, and duplicate it, and it should snap again too. Then we're gonna do the same thing. So layer new null object, make that 3D, and then just move it to the center. And for that, I'm just gonna turn off snapping, and let's see if we can just type it in, because this should be on -200, because our solids are 400 and half of 400 is 200. Quick maths. So we can just type it in 200 and in the last value. So it's in the center basically of the cube. And now what we can do is I'm gonna move this above this, and I'm gonna select all of our cube faces and link them to the null object. So if we now rotate this one around, again, it should look really cool. As you can see, we have our 3D cube. Now for the last one, it's a cylinder, and that's actually quite hard because cylinders are not really a thing. But what we can do is just create two ellipses in the same way we created this. So going to layer new solid, making it black, then double clicking on the ellipse to create a circle, adding a stroke to this. I'm just gonna turn off our cube so we don't see that. We can just increase the brush size again, just like we did before, to maybe 20. So let's go back to our active camera so we can see what we're doing. And then we can change the brush size to maybe 10, change the path to the mask one. And now we have our cylinder. As you can see, the mask is hitting the edge. We don't want that. So just hold shift and hold Command or Control on Windows to scale it a bit, maybe something like that. There we go. And then I'm gonna rotate it, and of course after that I'm gonna duplicate it. So for our cylinder, basically what we're gonna do is have two of these circles. So just set it to 90 degrees or -90, doesn't really matter. We can move it a bit maybe, and then duplicate it, then go to the bottom. And now we're gonna connect it, and I'm gonna do that by just duplicating one of these and then pressing R for rotation, setting it to 0. So we basically have our normal circle again. Make sure snapping is on, and then let's move it a bit. It should snap into place. Then I'm gonna delete this mask because we're not gonna use it. I'm actually gonna use a rectangle. So double click on the rectangle, change the path to mask 1, double click on the mask, and then we're just gonna skew it by holding Command or Control till we have this fine line. Let's then lower that a bit, something like this, and then I'm just gonna move it over by holding shift and the arrow tools, something like this, and then duplicate this mask and do the same to the other side. Just move it, holding shift, and then changing the stroke to all masks. There we go. Now maybe we have to align it a bit, probably when we look at our top view. So going into the active camera and then top view, you'll see that it's not aligned at all. Let's select this one again, and it should be more in the center, something like this. And if we go back to our active camera, now we need to move the masks a bit, so we'll align with our cylinder. Not perfect, but we can definitely work with this. Now for this one too, I do want a null object, and I might adjust this cylinder later on. I'm not perfectly happy with it. So just go to layer new null object, make that 3D, and then we're just gonna make sure that it's placed in the center of our cylinder. And again, we do that by going into the top view, making sure that's in the center here, which it is. So we should be able to now connect these layers like we did before, pressing R for rotation and changing the X rotation. And as you can see, we have our fake cylinder, which actually works quite well. We don't have to do a full rotation, because if you do a full rotation, you will see the effect that we did. Same goes with the Y rotation. If you rotate it too far, you'll see that it's fake. But we have control over that. We can now just select the null. We can even move this cylinder around a bit. We can even scale it a bit if we want to, pressing S. And then, for example, scaling it to make it larger. And then we can start with some basic animation. And of course, we can animate the X rotation. We can animate the position. Just gonna make sure that these layers are a bit longer. There we go. Press U to see our keyframes. Move these out, and then let's move our layer down and add some rotation to it. Of course, select all the keyframes, hitting F9 or right click easy ease. That's already really cool. Now I'm just gonna drag these out a bit more, and then maybe adding some smoothness to it. I love that. I love that a lot. I really like that. That's so cool. And we're gonna do the same with the pyramid. So let's move that. Let's also add a position and a rotation to this. Maybe a Y rotation and an X rotation. Again, easy ease. Now I want this one to end a bit higher probably. So I'm just gonna move this out, make sure it's a bit higher, something like this. And let's select these keyframes and easy ease them. Now, of course, we can also add motion blur to this. This is already really cool. Now for the cube, we do need to do something different. So for the cube, I'm just gonna do the same type of animation, but in a bit, I'm gonna duplicate this because we're gonna reuse this same cube so we don't have to do something twice. So for example, we can also animate this. You get the point now. But for the center color cube, we need to do something different. Basically what we're going to do first is going to select all these layers from the cube, just duplicate it and make sure that these are linked to this new null object that we just created, which they should automatically be. You can test it by just moving this around. Now we do have to adjust the colors of this, and the best way to do this after you duplicate it is move this a bit above this, then moving it with the null, because after that is a bit easier. And now what we can do is change the color of the solid, for example this one, by pressing Command Y or Control Shift Y on Windows, and then changing it, for example, to another color like this. Then go into your effect controls and make sure the stroke is set to off. And then we have our first face, and we need to do that with the different ones too. Now that's the exact same thing, but what I am going to show you is how to style this. So the easiest way to style this is to just add a glow to this. A standard glow would work, a deep glow is even better, but a standard glow should work fine. You can just increase the radius by a lot, so something like 100. And then we're going to right click on the solid, go into layer styles and then inner shadow, then go into inner shadow and change the blending mode to dissolve. And this will create this really cool grain effect, similar like MKBHD. Now I do want to adjust this a bit, maybe increasing the size to 40, or changing the opacity maybe a bit. You can also change the color to gray to make it a bit more subtle. Set the distance to 0, but I already really like this effect anyway. Now again, we need to do the same with the other ones, but what we can also do is add this glow and this layer style to a standard layers. For example, we can even add that to our cylinder or even our triangle, and it will give that same cool effect. So select all of our layers, then paste the glow. That already looks really cool, and now we can select them again. Now we can copy our layer styles and do the same, pasting it, and it will be a bit too much. I'm gonna turn down the opacity from this. And I'm really happy with that. Now for the last part where the cube turns into this really cool animation, we're just gonna do a whole separate animation because I think they did the same. As you can see, it doesn't align perfectly. This is just a separate grid with some separate shapes. This also doesn't have to be 3D, which makes it way easier. And also if we look at our animation, we do see that the cube changes colors. And this is really easy to do with a standard tint effect. I'm first gonna create a new solid, make it like a subtle gray, maybe something like this. Make sure you click the make comp size, so we basically have a solid. Now for the grid, it's easy to create this in Photoshop. In After Effects is a bit more difficult. Maybe there are some distort effects to create this, but the quickest way in my opinion is to just set the fill to none. Change your stroke to maybe something like a dark gray. I'm gonna use the polygon tool, basically just creating a polygon and then dragging it out and making sure that it's like a square. But then if you hold shift, it will become like a square on its side. And the cool thing with this is if we now go into our selection tool, we can just scale it down, making it into this cool diamond shape. Now there might be other ways to do this, but it's really quickly. You can just go into the repeater, open the transform, and then changing the position so it aligns well. Then we'll set the offset to -6 and then the copies to maybe 20 or something. There we go. And we'll do the same thing. Repeater, open the repeater, transform, change the first value to 0 and then the second value to, so it aligns well, to something like this. Then again, offset maybe -4 and then copies on 10 should be enough. And we have our grid. Now what I do want to do is basically make sure that it's a bit less bright. So just press the T for transparency to dial this down a bit. Now of course we can also align it by just moving this, making sure that the center point is set well. You can always optimize this a bit better. Now for the cube, we can just draw a cube. Just make sure that you align it well on our grid. So just make sure nothing is selected and then set a point first and then set a point here. Then maybe set a point here and then here and then here and then here. So we basically create a cube. And of course, we need to add the same glow and the same inner shadow to this. And to animate it, just open it, go into the contents and add a trim paths. Then open the trim paths and animate the end. And as you can see, we can make it fill in or fill out, and this is how you do it. And then you get something like this. Do let me know what you want to see next and what you think of this effect. Don't forget to join the masterclass, link is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, and then I'll see you next time. Bye.